So, 2 weeks ago, Behaviour announced the new chapter coming to Dead by Daylight, Hellraiser. With this new chapter, we're being introduced to a new killer, the Cenobite, otherwise known Pinhead. With now only a week to go until the release of this new chapter, I'm going to recap on what you should be expecting, as well as what you should be doing to prepare. As always guys, before we get into it, I just want to let you know that I do stream over on Twitch pretty often. Personally, I would like to say that I stream almost every day, but I know chat's going to sling me for that. Either way, please do go check it out if that's something you'd be interested in. But now, with that out of the way, let's get on with the video. I guess I'll start with, who the feck is Pinhead? Pinhead, or in DBD the Cenobite, is the key antagonist in the Hellraiser film franchise. To be honest, he's essentially just Jeff Bezos if he had some acupuncture treatment and forgot to take the needles out of his big shiny scon head, if I'm being real. He also has this oddly intimate relationship with some weird ass box.
You opened the box, and I came.
Now that Pinhead is satisfied, let's recap over his powers. His main power would be his Summons of Pain. Essentially, how this power works is similar to a Nurse Blink, but rather than teleporting Pinhead himself, instead he'll spawn and possess a chain, which the player can then control to try and hit the survivor, in order to then hold that survivor in place, and therefore restrict their movement, giving Pinhead a chance to catch up and hit the survivor with a basic M1 attack. He does have an iridescent add-on which does allow him to damage survivors by just hitting them with the chain, but this only works on fully healthy survivors to make them injured. You can't down with it. Another part of his kit is the Lament configuration. How the box works is that if it is left alone, a chain hunt will begin, which will start summoning chains on survivors until a survivor picks up this cube. When a survivor is then holding this box, they'll become oblivious and therefore won't hear the killer's terror radius, which will make it harder for them to not die, I suppose. So in order to then remove the box from their possession, they must solve the Lament configuration. However, during this, Pinhead will then have the ability to teleport to the survivor and, you know, come to them, and then essentially try and, you know, stop them. And actually, Pinhead himself can also pick up and use the Lament configuration. And if he does, a chain hunt will begin, and all survivors will instantly be bound by chains and will scream, therefore revealing their locations. Obviously, the thing with this is survivors can see the cube, they see the aura of it, whereas Pinhead doesn't get this, so it kind of balances that out. But to be honest, his power is actually kind of cool. I just definitely want to see it used more once it's fully released, so I can kind of get a proper opinion on it. But now onto his perks. They consist of Deadlock, which blocks the generator with the next highest progress when one is completed. Hex Plaything, which activates on a random totem each time a survivor is hooked for the first time, and it causes the survivor to become oblivious, and additionally, for the first 90 seconds of the effect, only the survivor affected can cleanse that hex totem, although the aura of the hex is revealed to them when within a certain range of it. And finally, Scourge Hook, Gift of Pain, which causes 4 hooks to become Scourge Hooks. I think that's how you pronounce it. I don't really know. And whenever a survivor is unhooked from one of these, they will suffer from hemorrhage and mangled status effects. This will remain until the survivor is healed. However, upon being healed, the survivor will then suffer healing and repairing speed penalty until they are injured again. I'm not gonna lie boys, all these perks do actually look really, really interesting. Like Deadlock Ruin could actually be quite powerful, and the other two certainly definitely look like pretty nutty. So it'd be cool to see how they play out at release, and actually also, once people start to get used to them and start figuring it out, it'd be really cool to see what stuff gets paired up with. So now you know more about the new character and what he's all about. But how much is the new chapter going to cost, and when's it going to be released? Well, seeing as it's just the solo killer with no survivor, it's likely that the new DLC is going to cost you $3.99 if you're in the UK, and $4.99 if you're in either the US or Europe, regarding you use the euro. This is the typical amount for chapters like these, as we saw with people like Ghostface and Leatherface, and also the solo survivors like Ash. And for when the chapter will release, we won't be waiting too much longer, because if you're watching this video the day it comes out, you're only going to have to wait a week, as it releases on the 7th of September, a week from the release of this video, and it will be available at 8 AM PST, 11 AM EST, and 4 PM BST through the DVD in-game store. You'll be able to buy it with Auric cells, but then usually about half an hour later-ish, it's usually then released on Steam and the console's own stores. Along with the new killer, some new cosmetics will also be getting added. So Pinhead himself is going to be getting 2 cosmetics, one of which is kind of rumoured to be a female Pinhead, so that would be cool to see. As well as other characters such as Zarina, Felix, Oni, and all these others that you're seeing on screen will also be receiving cosmetics sometime during September. So, you know what the new chapter will entail, you know when the new chapter will release, and you know how much it's going to cost, but now you may be wondering, what can you actually do to prepare if you are looking to get your hands on this new chapter and play some Pinhead for yourself? Well, the most obvious thing you can do is save your damn blood points. You should be saving as many as you can, so you can just pump them into Pinhead as soon as you unlock him when he releases, and therefore you are going to be able to get all the perks that you're going to want, and you're going to be able to unlock all these as soon as he releases, so you can have some good games with the perks that you want, as well as unlock his teachables so you can use them on your other killers as well. And if this isn't enough for you, you could also stock up on and save completed tome challenges as well as rituals, obviously the latter being limited to your 3 a day. But doing this will also mean that you have even more blood points stocked and ready, regardless of the blood point cap, ready just to dump into Pinhead to ensure you can get as many of the perks you want on him right from the get-go. Also boys, just before we finish up the video, I do just want to mention that we are also expecting an original unlicensed survivor to kind of compensate for the lack of survivor in this chapter. That will be releasing with the mid-chapter update, which is likely going to be coming around October 19th. And that will also feature some more cosmetics, as you can see on screen, which will include another legendary skin for Cheryl. So if you're a Cheryl main, you'll look forward to that. And that, boys, we've reached the end of the video. Hopefully you have found it useful, and you now know everything you need to know about this upcoming DVD chapter. If you have any questions or think there's anything I've missed, please feel free to mention it down in the comments, as well as any feedback about the video, or even just to drop a smiley face. Please drop a like if you did enjoy, subscribe for more videos like this, but most importantly, have a good one, boys. Peace.